It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today as we start a brand new week on the channel. Today is a Monday, and like normally, I am making it a metal Monday. It's going to get us all ready to go for the week and get our blood pumping. I'm going to be going back to music from the band Ghost today. This will be my second video dedicated to this hard rock and metal band from Sweden. Back in the summer of 2023, I reacted to their song Cerise, which was released in 2015 and included on their third album called Meliora. So the band is getting set to release their sixth album later this month. It's called Skeletá, and they announced this upcoming album with the release of its lead single called Satanized back on March 5th, last month. And this past week, they released their second single from this upcoming album. It is called Lachrymma, and I have been asked by many people to review both of these songs, and so I need to get caught up, so I am looking at both of them today on today's expanded Metal Monday episode, and I'm really pumped that you are here, and I'm happy to get back to music from this band. Recently, I have heard from Sleep Token, and they are another band like Ghost who prefer to keep their personas, especially as performers, private and anonymous, and they perform not as themselves, but as characters to make it a little more theatrical. The lead singer is referred to currently as Papa 5 or Papa V Perpetua, and the rest of the band are referred to as nameless ghouls. Through the years, though, Tobias Forge has been revealed as the band's frontman, their leader, their primary songwriter, and the sole continuous member of this band. So we know Tobias, right? So let's get started with it, y'all. I've got two songs to look at, and let's get started, shall we? Satanized is up first. And as I read about this song, it depicts a member of the Catholic Church who is giving in to the temptation of sin. And I also read that this sort of religious imagery and biblical references are not new for this band. And so as we get to the end, I don't know how they're going to be satanized, but I hope that there is some hope for redemption for these folks by the end of the song. So let's get started. Here is the first single from the new album by Ghost. It is called Satanized, and it goes like this. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Into the relative major. Back to minor. Okay, good. Goes to relative major. And that's the 5. And it resolves up to that 6. Cool, a little flat 2 over the 6 chord. I've invested my prayers into making me whole. I should have known not to give in, and they're in the major key. Cool. Cool. Save me from the bottom of my heart. I know I'm satanized. I've fallen prey to temptation, I think. Cool. Latin included in there. So when they're in E minor, they use that frigid second. And then when they move to relative major, they're just in a regular major key. I like the vocals, nice and clean. From the monster that is eating me. Blasphemy, heresy. All right, guitar. And something is happening. That's a vibe. Nice. So they're trying to exorcise the demon, right? Might as well play a song while they're doing it. That's a nice choice. 6. From the bottom of my heart, I know I'm Satanized. That goes all the way down to the 5. And who is this? Did they all succumb? Are they all Satanized now? Well, that's a heck of a starter, y'all. It's not as heavy as I expected it to be. You know, there were no harsh vocals. There wasn't a whole lot of overdrive. It presented like a straight ahead heavy rock song that uses some of these ideas that heavy metal bands use, but it was clean and it was really understandable. That's what I like about Sleep Token, the recent music that I've heard from them. Yes, it's heavy, and yes, it's like could be metal, but it's not like metal of the previous decades. It's more nuanced in the way that the musical ideas are presented, and I really enjoy it. I'm not just hit over the head with all of this heaviness and blast beats and everything. I can actually hear the nuances in the music, and that's exciting. The interlude here, I need to go back and look at this Latin. It's let's see. The translation of this interlude, do you not know that your members are the temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not your own? I think it's a direct reference from Corinthians, one of the New Testament books, I do believe. And they know, he says at the very beginning, there is something inside me and they don't know if there is a cure, a demonic possession unlike any before. It's a sickening heartache and it's slowly tormenting my soul. I've invested my prayers into making me whole. I should have known not to give in. You know, save me from the bottom of my heart. I know I'm Satanized. To me, it's knowing that even though that we are devoting our life, we are devoting our intentions to being as good as we can be, as pious as we can be, we fall short. And sometimes we give in to temptation, and he's recognizing his own fallibility. And I'm wondering if he is becoming kind of disconcerted with this falling short? Is he going to recognize that he's falling short and try to be better? Or is he just going to live in that easier spot to be? It's easier to fall short than it is to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, isn't it? Are you going to just stay there, and are you going to bring everybody else down to your level? That's what I get from that so far, y'all. But I want to move on to the next one. And Lacrimma, which is their second single, this is interesting because when I see this word, y'all, I have made in a prior life a living by writing choral music for choirs, and my doctoral dissertation was the writing of a requiem mass, and this word just leaps right out at me. Lacrimma. When I see this word, I immediately think of the word lacrimosa, which is Latin for weeping or being tearful, crying, that sort of thing. And this word lacrimosa is included in the text of the Catholic Requiem Mass. One of the more famous settings of this text is the lacrimosa from Mozart's Requiem, one that many of us that have that know that piece and have performed it many times can just sing right off the the top of our heads, which I'm not going to do for y'all right now. But indeed, this word lacryma comes from the same Latin root, and it means tear, or like a teardrop from crying. And indeed, as I look into these lyrics, it looks like he's describing a relationship that has ended. And our storyteller says that he is done being tearful or crying over someone like who he used to be involved with. So let us take a look at their more recent single, just released, I think about 4 or 5 days ago as I'm recording this. And let's take a look at Lacrimma from Ghost. Here we go. Again, I get a feel of rock music and not metal with the intro here. Cool. It takes a vampire to know one. Everybody knows everywhere I go. I can never run, I cannot hide. Now it's 1-6. Really smart. We get back to D. That anticipation feels like it might be in 7, but it's just an anticipation, and we're still in common time. I like that. In the middle of the night, each cool. That's the flat 6. That's a weird chord. And it gets them into a new key. 6, 4, 5 to 5 to 1. As they move back to D. This is rad, y'all. And they move into this key. So they're in two different keys. I think D and B. Down to the G, down to the E, to A, to D. And they use E to A to D to get back to D minor. Hope you're feeling it too now. I'm done crying. I hope you're feeling it too now. New key. I need somebody new now. I'm done. Well, that was a twist at the end, if you're following along in the video. And is that the end of the music? We've just got a whole bunch of credits that are rolling here. I am surprised, y'all. What have Metal Mondays become? You know, we've done a huge amount of Iron Maiden and Metallica and Black Sabbath, you know, and these classic, you know, Megadeth, Slayer, these classic metal bands. When you think metal, like Ozzy Osbourne, you know, and the newer metal is not the metal of 40 years ago. And it's a good thing. It really is. Metal needs to continually just react to the elements of society that are happening, both from an artistic standpoint, from just an organizational, societal viewpoint. And these are new folks with new experiences. They're listening to different types of music in the 2000s and the 2010s than folks were listening to in the 70s and 80s. And so their influences are slightly different and really varied. And it comes across in their music. And I'm really starting to groove on this sort of new wave of metal. I wouldn't really call that progressive metal at all, because it's pretty standard. It's pretty much heavy rock to me, you know, especially with those four chords that are popping around in those progressions. The thing that I really liked about that last song was how it moved from one key to another. I heard it in D and I heard it in B, and both of them in a minor key. And B is not in D's minor key. B flat is. Right? B flat is the sixth in D minor. But when they go to B, I'd have to listen to it again to figure out how they actually got there. But I figured out how they got back. From B, they went to E, the 4 chord, right? And they made it, I think, a major chord, right? And when E is a major chord, it's dominant to A, right? A then becomes dominant to D, and they get back to D minor. So they give you that like predominant, dominant tonic to establish a new key. And I believe that they at least gave us a dominant, an F sharp, to get to B, but I'm not sure how they got to an F sharp in the key of D minor. because it's not there, right? It'd have to be a chromatic alteration. I'd be curious to go back and listen and see what exactly is happening right before that F sharp chord pops in, because that's going to be your pivot. Normally, when you hear the chromatic nature as you're moving keys, the chromatic sound, normally the pivot is going to be a diatonic chord that happens right before that, right? Where it's going to be diatonic in the key that we're in and maybe diatonic in the key where we're going. And it can be like a pivoting so that we can go off in a different direction. And it makes sense. But I didn't catch it in real time. So I do want to go back and hear it again. I'm not going to do it right now, but I was really, really impressed with the singing, with the production, with the overall sounds, and the lyrics. It was all wonderful. This band, y'all, they are embarking on a 55-date world tour starting tomorrow. As I'm recording this on April 14th, and they're starting tomorrow, April 15th, in Manchester in the United Kingdom. And as I looked into it, they're going to be all around Europe in April and May. They're going to take June off, and then in July, they start this big, long North American leg of this world tour, and they're playing big arenas. Y'all, everywhere they're going, they're playing in these, 15,000 to 20,000 seat arenas that normally have, basketball or that sort of indoor hockey sort of sporting event inside of them. When they're going to be in New York City, they're going to be playing Madison Square Garden. That's great. And it looks like they're selling their tickets, and they're going to have a really successful world tour. They're going to finish up the tour in Mexico City with 2 dates, and one of them looks like it's already close to being sold out. So good on you, Ghost. The band about this new tour has said that this is going to be their most spectacular live production to date, and it is their most ambitious run of concerts of their career to date. And so we wish them good luck. They are hitting their stride, I think, and I am pleased to be on the bandwagon, even if I got a little, if I was a little behind as I started. But I have now heard the first 2 songs off of this brand new album called Skeletá. It's going to be released, I think, the 25th of April, if I remember reading correctly. So I'm going to be looking forward to this entire album when it comes out. But for today, y'all, I think that is going to be all for me. We have been listening to Satanized and Lachrymma, the 2 first singles from Ghost on their upcoming new album, and I am pumped to hear this wonderful new music, y'all. Great stuff. So, thank you for being with me on this Metal Monday. I wish you a great week, and we will see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.